AMG Hobby Talk, episode 70. We are back once again with the gang. Bonus Blair, how are you today?
Fantastic.
Wow. It's got a little extra delay on there. Very nice. Collector the Scallops, Collector People, Steve, how are you?
Oh, good. We were just working on Blair's, putting cards in the right frame when he's showing cards to people. So I think
Mhm.
I think we got it. We're almost there. There'll
So
be
let me give it one. Oh,
Yeah.
I blew it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we still got some work to do, but we're getting
Oh,
there.
thought I had it.
Well, we're hoping episode 70 right now. We're hoping by episode 75, 80, 85. We're hoping at some point in the near future we'll try to get it. We'll figure it out. So right now we're in the kind of the lull time in between. We're about, I would say about 7 weeks away from Expo. And then, of course, we'll talk about Trade Night and Card Show in the next week or two. We'll start talking about that again. The calendar's rolled over, so we'll get back into that. But for now, beginning of it, this episode is really going to be focused on Series 2. Series 2 is really going to be the focus of this one because that's always a big product. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. I'll read a couple of comments from the last episode. Again, if you want to leave any comments, you're welcome to. We'll address it in the following episode. If you have more pressing questions and more pressing things that you want to know about something, you'll hear about some products that are going to be coming in. You want to know about pricing and quantities, reach out directly to the store. Scrolling ticker there shows the Instagram, it shows the website. Those are the hubs. Those are good places to check. And if you reach out directly to the store, then you'll be able to get quicker answers. So if it's something you need to know a little bit more about, you see a card that we're going to show off that you like, you want to find out if it's still available, check directly with the store. You want to find out the pricing on anything, check directly with the store. That's always the best way to do it. So we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes here and we'll get into it. Let me read a couple of comments from last episode and then I'll actually share a fun little topic with the guys. We'll show off the cards and then we'll finish off with Series 2. So first from last week's episode, we had a couple of comments. First one was Rob, said, great show, guys. So thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Gotham Collections, always a great episode. Can't wait to visit this weekend. Go Sens Go. Go Sens goes back. So
Go Sens
love
Go.
that for Gotham Collections. So good stuff. Glad to hear it. And then one of Steve's favorites, Hockey 99. So first was Al Hamilton played in the alumni game between the Oilers and Jets almost 10 years ago. Exciting. Anytime we get an Al Hamilton reference, we always appreciate
I
it.
like it.
The WHA set should be in a museum. It probably is. Let's be honest, it probably is. But here, a question for Steve. Steve, where do collectors and LCSs intersect? If someone only collects a certain player or a certain era of cards, is this type of hobbyist part of the target market? What types of hobbyists make for the best customers?
What? Could you say that in a paragraph, please? What? Can you say that again?
It's a multi-part question,
Yeah.
Steve. Where do collectors and LCSs intersect? The last question is really the best one. What types of hobbyists make for the best customers? So if a person's only a player collector or certain era, is that the best? Is it the set collector? Is it kind of the person who likes the rookies? What a type of hobbyist makes the best customer?
I like people that are a pleasure to deal with. That's the best hobbyist. Sometimes people get, whether it's competitive or aggressive, and sometimes you can just, like, there's a difference between a true hobbyist and someone that might be, obviously at some point we all become sellers, but I like the one that's kind of leans more to the collecting side. They're enjoyable to deal with. I like when people tell me things I don't know, and I mean, there's a lot I have to learn, especially newer things. So that's why, like, even someone like Bobby Burrell, it's always good to have a chat with him because he'll always, and I'm more of a vintage guy. I'm know a lot about it, but Bobby will always one up me with another tidbit that I was unaware of. So whenever you can meet someone that that can make you better as a hobbyist, I think that's a great thing as well. So I just enjoy dealing with people that enjoy what they're doing. So just sometimes it almost becomes too tedious a task, and you can't satisfy everybody. But if you're happy, I'm happy. Let's put it that way.
Nice. I think a fair response. So there you go. So thank you all for the comments and questions. We always try to address them in the following episode if we can. Now, quickly, I'll go over a couple of items that are going to be coming in. So obviously I talked about Series 2, so you can expect that we're going to talk about that in a minute. Right now on this list, I've got 2025 Upper Deck Rookie Box Set, So we can, again, quantities, pricing, everything, reach out directly to the store if you have any questions about these. 2024 Topps Star Wars Hyperspace. Some of these are going to be limited quantities. So again, reach out directly to the store if you want more information. Pokemon 2025 Stacking Tin. Not too familiar with that one. I think Blair can probably fill in the gaps on that one. And then we've got a Prismatic Evolutions booster bundle. So I'm guessing a restock on that one, I think, because Prismatic Evolution sounds familiar to me. I'm not sure.
No, it's the new, but we haven't had
it's
the
new.
booster bundles yet. So
Okay. So
yeah, they're doing it in I think we talked about it once before, but yeah, right up until September, there's going to be different variations of that prismatic release. So that's the next in line.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
6 packs.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And also too, we'll point out, where the Series 2 hobbies will be in Wednesday. Lots of people have reached out wanting to know when the blasters or retail side of the product comes out. They usually give you a couple weeks. I don't have the exact date off the top of my head, but usually 2 weeks after the hobby release. So again, next podcast, or whatever, we'll say the date of that release for blasters and things like that.
Perfect. I like it. Now, while that's all very exciting, and again, reach out directly to the store to get information about this. I would be remiss if I did not allow you gentlemen to opine on one of my favorite things that came from this past weekend. This past weekend, there's a high-profile, very important auction that happened in this hobby of a true icon, a grail. Golden Auctions sold for what must be a record, $87,840. They sold an item, and Blair will appreciate this as the expert on the Pokemon that he is. Blair will appreciate that this sale was for a Grail of Grails, an icon of this hobby, the infamous Cheetozard. Allow me to explain. So as it turns out, so you're familiar with a lot of these auctions where you've got these food-related items that are shaped like a thing, or that, Mother Teresa's on a piece of toast, Jesus is on a piece of toast, these kind of things. Well, it turns out someone found a 3-inch Flaming Hot Cheeto that was shaped very similar to the Charizard, and they put it inside of a custom case. Created a custom card with then dubbed it the Cheetozard. And this Cheetozard sold this weekend for $87,840. Now, rumor has it, Blair may have been the underbidder. It was $72,000 plus the juice. So it was just a little bit too rich for his blood, but it sold for this amount. And this has been my favorite thing. And on my YouTube channel, I have declared it Cheetozard week because now this is my favorite thing right now.
Okay. Okay. I think it's 87,000 not well spent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen a lot of money spent on a lot of things in the hobby, Blair. I disagree. I cannot think of a better thing to spend $87,000. If you have the ability to spend $87,000, again, you have to be pre-registered to be able to spend this much money on the auction house. So it means you are a person of means. Again, if you're dealing in, the collector the scalps, collector the people tax bracket, and you can drop $87,000 on a Cheeto. My only question, I have many questions, but one specific question I have is, what if you have like a cousin or a brother or something that has the munchies? Is your collectible in constant danger? That's a question that I have.
Sure. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, do you have to guard it from from the inside? Is the danger within? Is it inside the home? And also, as part of the write-up, they explained that it was discovered between 2018 and 2022. The lack of specificity on when it was discovered is a concern of mine. There's a 4-year gap in the question mark of when it was discovered. And also, does the Flaming Hot Cheeto have preservatives? How long will this last? Because it's lasted at least approximately 4 years so far. Well, actually, no. If you say 2018, it's actually 7 years, and it remains intact. So is the Cheetozard simply going to outlast us all? That's a question I have.
Well, yeah, makes you wonder what chemicals they put into that Cheeto.
It almost looks like it might be laminated in there.
That's what I'm wondering, if there's some kind of preservative, if there's some performance enhancers here to maintain the Cheeto. See, Blair, these are the important questions that we have to ask.
It's funny that you brought up its origin. I was thinking it might have originated on a Cheech and Chong's Bender weekend, watching all the movies, and this just appeared. In saying that, yeah, back to your, is it in danger of like somebody's dog getting it or
A really
hence
hungry relative that has the
it
munchies.
was created on a binge Cheech and Chong's weekend. It might be eaten on a binge Cheech and Chong's weekend.
More to come. I will keep you all updated on the story, but I thought it was very important that we touch on this critical thing in the hobby. Like I said,
here's another one. Do you think it's one Cheeto, or was it pieced together with multiple?
Well, this is part of the mystery, Blair. This is part of what we don't know. I like look. You're asking a valid question, and
you are blowing my mind right now. Actually, I'm all these thoughts are
There are so many things in this hobby that are very simplistic, very straightforward. The Cheetozard is a mystery. It's a conundrum. It's wrapped in a riddle. It's in a fog. There's so many things that we do not understand about the Cheetozard. And honestly, I am willing to take as much time as is required. That's why I have a Cheetozard week. I will get to the bottom of this. The investigation is ongoing. But before I leave this topic, I want to finish off with two things. So if you pay attention to if you're watching the video version, on the screen here, I'm showing an Instagram post from Golden, which showcases the sale, showcases the total. But if you check over the comments section over to the right, what you're going to see is a couple of comments that I want to direct your attention to. One of them is Spinatron, who, if you're not familiar with, is a very high-end collector that's kind of known in the Instagram space. Mm-hmm. And Spinatron is asking a similar question to Blair. It says, can the snack company make this kind of shape deliberately? Or it has to be pack pulled too? Asking the valid question. Listen, I saw a Pokemon influencer that saw this and said, well, I guess we're going to have to do a pack opening, and had a pack of Cheetos and then opened it up to see if they could find, the next Cheetozard. So it's already become a thing, Blair. The pack openings for Flaming Hot Cheetos is going to be the next great pack opening thing. We're going to have group breaks. It's going to be awesome. Secondly, the comment directly underneath it is from the official Cheetos account. The official Cheetos account has commented on this with the eye emojis looking to the side.
Yeah.
So it's official. It's legit. Steve, that's the kind of coverage that I needed to make sure we touched on. We would be remiss as the AMG Collectibles podcast if we did not touch on such an important hobby event.
Yeah, they'll probably start having Chase Cheetos in the future. Find the LeBron James Cheeto and stuff like that. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Steve, it makes me so happy. It gives me so much joy. In a land of, listen, Blair, is this not on brand? In the land of the U-God, in the land of Al Hamilton, in the hand of all of the things that we've talked about, Cheetozard is currently my favorite thing. It really is.
I think it has to bump ahead of drawing blanks out. What's the other Pokemon?
The cheese string or whatever?
Oh no, the cheese. Listen, I gotta be honest.
I think it's
I have spent a lot of energy and time promoting the good word of Cheese Stringamon, but Cheetozard came in leapfrogged it. Like it's a phenomenon. It is hard to deny. It is a phenomenon in and of itself. And I am glad that I have lived in an era. We are the only people in this planet's history who have lived in the era of the Cheetozard. I feel honored.
Yeah.
I may have eaten $1 million worth of Cheetos. I never looked at my Cheetos before eating them.
Opportunity missed, Steve. Now you know, like there is money in them Bar Hills. So if you're really hungry, you are this close. You could be this close to the next Cheetozard. Who knows?
And Steve, we do most of our best Cheeto eating in the dark, so we may have just missed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, given the level of preservation of that Cheeto, you might be able to see it in the dark. Like, I'm not convinced it's not, it isn't glow in the dark or something. Like, who knows the powers of the Cheetozard, Blair? Who knows? Anyway,
I think from now on we're going to be getting some strange glares from Sherry when me and Steve are like got his spyglass looking at our sandwich or a bowl of soup, or
we're getting cases of Cheetos with our next order.
Yeah. Listen, you'll all change your tune when the next Cheetozard gets pulled out of circulation. It's going to be like the Paul Skeens 101. There's got to be a bounty out there. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be sensational.
Where have we gone?
I don't regret anything, Blair. I regret absolutely nothing. I have had so much fun with this already, and I figured I would spring it upon you. Now you cannot unsee it. Now you have seen it. You're all welcome.
I don't think I'm going to be able to come out of my office today. I'm going to be Googling this all day long.
I would
try to get to the bottom of it.
How to get rich quick.
Yep.
I love it. Yeah.
Yep. All right,
boy.
okay. Let's touch on a couple of cards here. Again, not as exciting as Cheetozard, but we'll do our best. All right, so a couple of our cards here that Steve shared that came in the store. We got 2021 OPG Platinum. We got Seth Jarvis. This is the orange checkers variation. So in a mint 9 with a 10 autograph on here. I believe, if memory serves me, for the OPG Platinum, these are still on-card autos, not sticker. It doesn't look like it's a sticker. It looks like it's on-card, which is nice. I like that as a feature. The orange checkers are a pretty good-looking pattern, so that's a pretty solid card there.
That actually, a customer got that back from PSA, so he asked if I would feature it on the podcast, and I said sure. So here it is.
Making dreams.
Right.
I think it's out of 15 too. I can't remember, but yeah, nice card.
Yeah,
the checker is numbered. Yeah, I don't remember the numbering on that one, but it might be 25, but I'm not sure. Regardless, though, very nice card and a good-looking first card to start off with here. Now let's go Michael Jordan. So 1990 Fleer All-Stars. We're talking the Gem Mint 10. A little tricky with the solid borders on it. Now I could question because I can see a little chipping there on the side of it, but nonetheless, nice looking card there, clean looking Jordan for the most part.
This was an expensive story too.
Really,
a young kid sold this to me on Saturday, and I think they're selling for around $600. So I paid a percentage of the selling price, and as I gave him the cash, he had a big smile on his face. And informed me that he bought this here out of our discount box for $5. So he had a nice day taking the money all the way to the bank. So yeah, he was probably 17, 18 years old and pulled a 10 out of the discount box and probably made $450 on it. So good for him.
There you go. It's a rags to Cheetozard story. This is exciting. I love it. All right, so here we got from 2024 Upper Deck, we got the Lane Hudson Outburst Silver. This one's in a 9, which if you know anything about the Outbursts, it's, again, you got a little solid border on the bottom for the most part, and then you can have some chipping on the little metal, but the Outbursts do look very nice, and I will say that's a pretty clean-looking copy for the most part.
Yep.
Okay, so this one here, I'm not too familiar with it, so I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm guessing it's like Football Unique. WF, I'm not sure what that's supposed to stand for, but it's Jonathan David autograph notes.
Futura Unique. I wasn't aware of it either, but of course he's having a great season, and he's Canadian. So, and this card's actually also numbered out of 3. So to get so a nice low numbered Jonathan David auto, nice to have in a Canadian store.
I was gonna say you're gonna put a little Maple Leaf sticker on there, since we got to label all the Canadian stuff, we may as well. Like I think it feels like the right thing to do.
Tariff free.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep,
and I do appreciate that it does label it Team Canada there at the bottom. So we do have.
I do like that. Yeah.
All right, so moving on here, we got some more soccer. So this one's Alphonso Davies. So I am a little bit more familiar with this person here. This one is from Merlin, which now I have a little bit more understanding. I do know that that's a brand that is used on there, and this is FC Bayern München. I totally butchered that, but regardless, I am familiar. I have seen that team name before. Very nice looking patch. So it says from official match ball. So that's kind of cool there. And I'm guessing just from that image, it looks like it has a little bit of texture to it with the little stars. So that's kind of neat.
Yep. And again, another, I got these from the same guy, and we normally don't have a lot of soccer in the store, but again, another great Canadian player. So and they both have great eye appeal, but yeah, this one, super colorful and, is a piece of the soccer ball. And of course with a nice Alphonso Davies auto.
Nice. And I will agree. I think if you're going to do like a piece of memorabilia and you can get one that has a little bit of texture and some colors and everything, it adds to the aesthetic. It's a nice looking card. And then you got the autograph on there as well. The autograph I'm a little bit less impressed with, but nonetheless, the overall presentation I think is pretty nice. So I'll give him credit for that.
It's a very swooping autograph.
Very much so. So here's another autograph for us. So this is Leaf Decadence, and this is the Sean O'Malley. This one is the E-Clad Auto Silver, mint 10 with a mint 9 with the 10 auto on this one. So obviously Leaf unlicensed. You can tell like he's literally wearing like a plain shirt, so it's like been photoshopped out. But it is Sean O'Malley if you're familiar with the UFC. And that is consistent with his auto, so it's on there as a sticker.
Yep, and this one's numbered out of 2. So obviously, low numbered.
Nice. Okay, here we got an Artifacts Cole Caulfield here. Very small windows for the patches, number to 5 on this one. So I'm guessing it's like the black foil version, it looks like. I will say though, even for the small windows, you were able to get a little bit of text and then a multi-patch piece. So they did get as much mileage as they could out of the patch piece with windows.
Yeah.
So not bad there. And then here from the Allure, we've talked about this one, the Stanley Cup, but this is the Wayne Gretzky one. So the Wayne Gretzky autograph on there with the auto. So this one is a Gem Mint 10 with an 8 auto. Now with the Gretzky, it's a little tricky because you want to keep the auto inside of it and then you don't want it to streak. It doesn't look like streaking is the issue here. It might just be that it kind of signed it off the sticker a little bit, and that certainly would penalize it.
Yeah, I love those cards though. I love the color flow Stanley Cups, and then they added the signatures, and we all know who Wayne Gretzky is. So that's definitely a short printed card.
Absolutely. Now, let me see. Do I have one more here? Let's see. I believe I've covered all of these. And this one. Yeah, I think we're actually covered. Sometimes it does a little tricky thing where it'll double up an image. But the Wayne Gretzky is actually the last one we got on that list. So that's perfect. Thank you, Steve, for that. So again, if you've got any questions about any of those cards, want a little more information on that, be sure to reach out to the store. But don't ask for the Cheetozard. I'm afraid we don't have that kind of power. We can only hope one day. By the way, I want to know, I'm hoping the person who bought it comes forward. I want to know more.
Yeah, I just for poops and giggles, I'd like to know who that is.
I don't know if I'd come forward. I don't know if I'd come for it. I don't know if I want people to know I look that deeply into my food.
Listen, I think you do want people to know that, Steve. I think at that point you lean into it. Yeah. I want to know the seller and I want to know the buyer. I want to know everything, Steve. Wall-to-wall coverage of the Cheetozard. I will not rest until we know more. Anyway,
I'm wondering if there's some kind of background thing where that was actually bought by Mr. Ken Gold, and then they have some kind of deal with Cheetos going on.
Well, listen, that's why I say, like, the official Cheetos account did respond to the post. Did respond to the post, so it wouldn't be the wildest conspiracy theory I've heard. Listen, we're all in the back pocket of Big Cheeto. Like you got to live it. We're in the Cheetos world. We just live in it. Anyway. All right, so real quick, I want to make sure I touch on this. I always like to emphasize, we always talk about the AMG eBay store. So there are auctions Sunday to Sunday. So always double check. So right now I'm pulled up the latest here. I'm looking at the latest version of it. Upper Deck Ingrained, carved in time. So you got a Ray Borg here, which is like basically a piece of wood, effectively, and then on it an autograph. So those are some neat looking cards. And a lot of times the wood has been embossed. So like what you're seeing there is actually a bit of a carving on the wood, which is actually a very neat aesthetic. It is very different. It stands out from a lot of the regular stuff. So you got in the game heroes and prospects, a quad emblem. You got Team Canada Juniors. You've got Young Guns. You've got UD 2008 UD Black Game Night autographs. So there's a lot of good stuff on here. New, old. You're seeing a lot of hockey, but there is baseball. There is football. There is golf. You saw soccer. Well, stuff like that can wind up on the eBay store. So check it out regularly because you'll see different stuff rotate in and out every single week. So that's one of those things. Don't limit it to just one thing because if you're interested, sometimes you'll catch some interesting stuff on there. One more I'll feature for you really quick. 2023 Leaf Exotic. So obviously they've got a lot of different stuff with multisport. Well, this one's a Joe Montana and John Taylor dual autograph. That's kind of a neat one if you like Joe Montana on there. That's kind of cool. And a lot of times because it's Leaf, because it's unlicensed, you can get an autograph of a star or all-time great for a fraction of what it would cost otherwise if it was a licensed product.
And I think 3 or 4 of those Leaf autos that we have up this week are 1-of-1s as well. I can't remember if Montana was or not, but if not, it was definitely a low pop as well. So it's a fun week of eBay auctions because a couple different collections came in, whether it was the soccer or the football or the Leaf. We got a little bit of everything on eBay this week.
Beautiful. Good stuff. And one of the ones that I showcased there was the 2008 UD Black. That to me is one of the high watermarks of Upper Deck when they did it back then because they had the dark backgrounds and the paint pen. Beautiful looking cards. Some very underrated stuff. The game night autographs are very good. I'm a big Medano collector. That's my thing. I actually acquired the UD Black Pride of the Nation. So they've got like a manufactured patch on there. I acquired the 1-of-1. So that one is one that's been out there. I've actually seen it on sale for a long time, but the seller recently discounted it heavily. I covered it on my channel and talked about it. I felt like the price was too high, but when they discounted it heavily and I had some PayPal from some sales that I had made recently, The timing was perfect, so I added it to my collection. So I have the 1 of 1 to go along with a couple of other versions of the card. But beautiful looking cards, though, with the paint pen on there. It really stands out. It pops very nicely, I will say, for that year. All right, so we've covered all that, and I think that just leaves us with a little discussion on Series 2. So I think it's time to talk about some Series 2 here. So to make a long story short, folks, we'll include a link in the description for you for the checklist, team set, insert set, all the good stuff. Let's be clear about this. Let's be blunt. 2 things. Number 1, the Upper Deck Series 1 and Series 2 are always some of the biggest drops of the year. Very popular cards, the Young Guns. Celebrini is the big chase in the Young Guns. But not the only one, but obviously one of the big chases. Yep. A lot of the rest of the stuff, though, if you saw Series 1, it's going to look really similar to Series 2. Let's just be honest about that. But if you got questions or anything, you can certainly reach out to the store. But I'm going to quickly go over a couple of things. I'll show some mock-ups and all that, and we'll talk about it. But remember, if you're familiar with Series 1, a lot of this is going to sound very familiar to you, but I will gloss over it quickly. So the total, there are 250 base cards in the main set. That brings it up to 500 cards, 50 slots for Young Guns, kind of standard operating procedure on that. So your parallels include your Outbursts, Young Guns, which are tougher, Clear Cut, 1 in 48 packs. The Young Guns are 1 in 144 packs. So you got Clear Cut, Outburst, Deluxe out of 250, Exclusives out of 100, Outburst Red out of 25, High Gloss out of 10, and Outburst 1 of 1s. So those are available. No bounties or anything on Celebrini, but obviously an Outburst Gold Celebrini, that should go for a pretty penny, especially how popular he is right now and how hot he is on that side of it. He's going to be one of the big draws on this one. All right, insert-wise, you've got your Young Guns Renewed series. So again, with all the art on the background, you've got that. They're showing off a Connor McDavid here in the mock-up. This is the high gloss version you're showing on here. That should be a very nice card. Like if you pulled one of those for Connor McDavid, that'd be a huge one. You do have an exclusive out of 100, high gloss out of 10, and there is a 1-on-1 printing plate versions as well. So very similar. Luke the Cardist did a lot of backgrounds on these in the art. It's very similar to what you saw in Series 1. So if you're familiar with the Series 1 version, it's very similar to that. UD Canvas, so we've got that. Young Guns UD Canvas as well, retired UD Canvas, Team Canada themed program of excellence, which are a little bit tougher. But again, UD Canvas has some really nice photography on it. You're going to see some really cool looking cards. So there's an example of the Joshua Roy program of excellence. Good example of that. You got Dazzlers, Population Count, UD Portraits, very similar design to Series 1. Again, consistent with it. You're following a lot of the same stuff. You've got Fluorescence. You got base versions at 136 packs, gold out of 150, blue out of 50, green out of 15, and magenta out of 5. So you got parallels going up from there. Mm-hmm. So some new stuff. They've got this one, which is called On Tour. So it uses kind of a rock poster aesthetic, is what they're calling that. So if you look at it on the screen there with the mock-up, it kind of jives. If you've seen some tour posters, the kind of font and stuff like that they used on there, yeah, I can see where they're going with that. So that's the inspiration, rock posters. So they got a pair of players, and they do have some parallels included in that. So Sparkle Black, Red, and Gold, the last couple of them being numbered. Welcome aboard. So I did warn the boys.
Oh, no.
A little welcome aboard. So, highlights key rookies. So this is right from the write-up. This is right from here. For those who grew up on Gilligan's Island, the design can also inspire thoughts of the 3-hour tour. There is a speckle version of it. A black out of 1 in 360 packs are the lone parallels for these. So welcome aboard, Blair.
I feel like that every day. I'm on a 4-hour tour with Steve.
Not sure of the hockey tie-in on this card, but
it's a stretch.
Every day, Steve, we get a little further away from Cheetozard. I bet you all wish for the heady days when we talk Cheetozard instead of welcome aboard.
Let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back. Exactly. I will refrain from further comment. All I'll say is welcome aboard. Moving on. Other new inserts include Electricity, which you don't have a mock-up of. Okay, there is an insert called Ooh La La. It's 1 in 5 packs, so you're going to see it consistently, just to let you know. So we're going to find out. And Welcome Aboard is 1 in 5 packs. So you're going to see a heavy dose of Welcome Aboard and Ooh La La. Moving on. Playlist is a new one, and On a Heater is 1 in 10 packs. So you're going to see all of those, I think, in a box. So it's just letting you all know. Okay, so for the hobby box, here's what you need to know. 12 cards per pack, 12 packs per box, same configuration to Series 1. No difference. It's the same thing. Just letting you know on that. Boxes per case, 12. So 12, 12, and 12. And then the rest of it kind of follows. So what to expect in a hobby box. Bang for your puck. I didn't even see that on the original list. So apparently there's a bang for your puck there as well. On a Heater, On Tour, UD Portraits, 8 total in a box of a combination of those. Blue Dazzler, at least 1 per box. Electricity with the word city in all capitals.
like
Ooh La La, Playlist, or Welcome Aboard, 9 total in a box. Some combination of those ones. 4 UD canvases in a box of some kind, 3 Young Guns renewed, they're still fairly common, 1 Outburst Parallel, and 6 Young Gun rookie cards. So you should get 6 Young Guns in your average hobby box. That is what you should expect. Full checklist and everything's all included in here. You can check it out for yourself. Make sure check by your team, check by players, and be able to look through it. And that's really it. Series 2, Series 1, a lot of it is very similar, but now you can all look for Welcome Aboard, Ooh La La's. Very exciting stuff.
I like On a Heater. Don't quite know where they're going with that one, but I'm interested to see it. Maybe they have the guys propped up on a heater.
I think you need some bang for your puck.
That one might be good too.
That one might be good. Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, we have a large allotment of it. So I know people have been calling, whether it's wanting to pre-order or make sure they're guaranteed a box. We've got a lot of it, so that won't be an issue. I just saw my Campire shipping notice, so they're on their way, providing the weather cooperates. They'll be here Wednesday. It'll take us a while to account for everything. I know we have pallets set up out back where we have to stack everything, so we don't do that too often. So that gives you an idea of the volume that we have coming in. So probably late afternoon before we get everything sorted, because we have to make sure every box is accounted for. But and again, as always, the price is super competitive. Like to think it will be the cheapest around, but there's some for everyone. So if you can't get in Wednesday or Thursday, it'll take us a little while to get rid of this. And of course, being a flagship product and with a good rookie class, we don't mind having lots of this on the shelves to hopefully last us a little while as well.
I just think you need to lean into Welcome Aboard. I think if you tell people, hey guys, welcome aboard, and like, oh my god, I gotta have all the boxes.
They can have all the boxes. They're gonna need a flatbed truck to get them out of here. We went to the next level on this one. We just want to keep moving forward and onward, and had an opportunity to get a nice allotment. So we were like, what the heck? Let's give it a whirl.
Yep. It is a popular one with set builders. And like I said, currently, subject to change. Right now, Celebrini is the big draw on that one. But again, some of the other rookies, you never know. It's not uncommon for one of the other rookies to surprise. And if that happens, they're part of that Young Gun checklist. There are a lot of folks that collect the whole thing anyway, so they'll work on it, and you never know. And if you've got the whole set, if anybody hits, you're going to have a copy. So opportunities abound. Welcome aboards, ooh la las, very exciting. Just across the board, exciting times. So if you got any questions about anything related to that, reach out directly to the store. That is always the best way. Comments and engagement is always appreciated on the channel. We always check it out, as you saw. We'll go through last week's comments on there and questions. If they're posted, you're welcome to do that. If it's not time sensitive, you're welcome to use the comment section, and we can do that. Gentlemen, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we leave? Now, I leave you now to think about the Cheetozard during this wonderful, holy Cheetozard week. But other than that, is there anything else?
Not really, other than I think Blair's going to march down over to the superstore and buy them out of Cheetos. And we'll probably spend most of our day opening bags and eating bags of Cheetos. So, every penny counts. So if we can make 88 grand on a Cheeto, it's worth the gamble.
It's worth the consuming.
And we could just make characters up. We might fool someone.
I listen. As far as I'm concerned, my theory is this is only the beginning. I'm hoping this person eventually resells the Cheetozard, and I'm thinking 6 figures. We can do better. Now that we know the legend, allow the legend to grow for a little bit, and then let's 6 to 9 months, a year, let's see Cheetozard again.
Yeah,
I might even start a chase for the Al Hamilton image burned into a Dorito.
I listen. I love it.
That might be there.
I think it's on brand. I think it's very exciting. Let us pray to you, God. And if you, God, smiles upon us, then we can have the Al Hamilton imprinted on a Dorito. This could be very exciting.
Oh, I blew it. Oh, no, there he is.
We did it. Unbelievable. Right at the end, we got it. We nailed it. All right. So that's it for us this time around. Hopefully you enjoyed.
Funny episode. I like
This
it.
makes me so happy. Anyway, so enjoy some series 2. Go out there, open some boxes, pull yourself some welcome aboard. Blair will celebrate you. We'll have a little bit of fun. So for bonus Blair, Steve, collect the scalps, collect the people, and new convert to the world of Cheetozard, Steve.
Yeah.
Episode 70 in the books. Thank you very much. We'll catch you in the next one.